Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break the wall down! What you want? Baby, you know that you is out of your crease. Baby, what I got is not from the least. We in the stage in the rage of the beast. Step into your arena and break the wall down. Step into your arena and break the wall down.
Now I'm live. Well, I see it there, but I didn't know if I could do the voiceover while it's. No. Well, we can't do that anymore. Maybe we'll just make a pre-recorded one to save everyone time and stress and all that stuff. So yes, welcome to Let Me Tell You Something, Brother, live here on 216 Creator Studios at the Tom's Productions studio office. I am your host, Tom Waddell. This is
Whatever I
introduce
want.
yourself or not?
Whatever I go by today. I'm Alex.
AS4.
AS4, that's fine.
AS4.
It's not the first time.
And we got the wise man behind the desk, Mr. Kent Jones, the producer.
That's it. Well, I don't know if I'm wise.
A little raspy voice there. I think he's got what I got. But
We're not open mouth kissing or anything.
what we do behind closed doors is no one's business.
What happens 20 minutes before the show goes on live?
Why do you think we're always
Not that
late?
there's anything wrong with that. Right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're just saying.
First time we're actually on time
Hey,
with the show. It's
We're a couple-
working.
for a
Something
month or
working.
three.
Hey,
Camera's working.
Cameras-
making progress.
Hey.
The monitor's working.
Mine's working. You got your notes on time.
I mean, it took
Hey.
us how many months? 3 months in this studio.
In this studio.
Two, 3 months.
And if you want to have your very own podcast out of Tom's production studios, just reach out to us at info@216thenet.com or at 216thenet@gmail.com.
They
We'd
make
love to.
podcasts easy.
We're making podcast easy. It's beautiful.
Is that the tagline?
It is now.
It is now.
It is now.
AS4 exclusive.
AS4 exclusive.
All right.
That's
So
it. Big week coming up here.
big week coming up. Big week from last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So let's start with probably the redheaded stepbastard child of pro wrestling, AEW. So last night they had Full Gear.
Mhm.
They usually put on, I think 2024 for them so far has been solid for their pay-per-views. I mean, they've been entertaining. I watch it through the Facebook highlights
Yeah.
because they pretty much show most of the match on there anyway. And so like, why buy I think it's like $49.99 for a pay-per-view. So from what I've seen on there, I mean, it looked like they were pretty solid matches for the most part. Other than that, why are they not drawing people? I don't know.
I mean, I think right now, like in the wrestling culture, it's kind of that lull time. I think everyone's just kind of used to being ready for the holiday season, kind of being ready for
WrestleMania kickoff.
You got, you kind of got that dull time right now. That's kind of what we've been taught. So I feel like this is where AEW should have just came out with like a massive card.
Right.
And I just think that this one kind of fell more flat than their other pay-per-views this year.
What I'm not liking right now is how they are pushing the former WWE stars over their own homegrown talent. So I don't know. It could be a genius idea and storytelling, but I doubt that. Are we going to see where the originals are going to start fighting back and push come to shove, or are they just going to put their tails between their legs when their contract's up, go up north?
Well, I mean, that would be what I would love to see. I would love to see kind of that. I mean, they're kind of doing it now with the invasion kind of storyline with Moxley. I would love to see them do more of that. But, yeah, I definitely And it's something that I don't know is a work or not, because I mean, Britt Baker has been very adamant from when they first signed Monet.
Right.
You know, like, what is she? Why is we doing this? You know, take care of your own, then instead of bringing in people.
Which Monet is getting serious heat from the fans.
Yes.
Like she's almost getting Dirty Dom kind of heat, where she can't talk without them booing.
Yeah.
But like, what's funny is that's the only reaction fans are giving.
Yeah.
They are not cheering for anything. Like you can hear a pin drop during promos now.
Yeah.
On Dynamite, even if it's a good promo or not, like the crowd is just dead. So it's like I don't know if they're just like throwing like, "Here, come to our show."
Yeah.
Like come out of the bar, we'll give you free food or something. Like come watch our show. And
There's that option, but I mean, also, or is it because if you watch New Japan, I mean, New Japan during promos, during everything, like they're quiet. Like it's got to be a very different.
well, that's the culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the culture over there. Is like this is an art form. They want to look at this as theater. And I know there's a lot of wrestlers that have spoken out on that. It's like it's such a different thing to, you know, go to. And I'm not saying that that's what AEW is getting, but I'm almost wondering. I would love to go to an AEW show and see what they do say, because there are rules and regulations for events. I know WWE has changed their rules recently for live events. Things that you can put on the signage, things you can't put on the signs. So I wouldn't.
You can wear shirts. you
Yeah,
can wear.
so I'm shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if AEW doesn't do the same thing. But I mean, the card wasn't lackluster at all.
So here was the card. It was the AEW Tag Team Fatal 4-Way
Mhm.
for the titles. Private Party versus Kings of the Black Throne versus the Outrunners versus the Acclaimed. With Private Party winning, which is their version of the Street Profits.
With a little bit more scissors.
And it was, so yeah, like with them, it's like was a year or 2 years ago where the Acclaim was becoming like the very hot tag team. Like they should have won a championship and didn't win it. Maybe won it a little bit too late, but it's like the Outrunners are that new it team.
Yeah.
With their pretty much 80s cocaine gimmick.
Yeah, brings our producer back to the old days.
That's right. I mean, is that the hook? I mean, I feel that AEW doesn't have a hook, right?
They have Hook.
They have Hook, but they don't have like.
They didn't use Hook. They didn't
Oh,
use
right.
Danhausen.
I mean, if you go back to the old school when it was WCW and WWE or F or whatever, before they took the F out,
Stupid pandas.
is, you know, you had NWO, you had some good factions, and that was the hook. Right now, WWE's kind of got a good faction going on the Bloodline that's drawing people in.
And they're banking on that too much.
Well, they are, of course, but that's why I see AEW doesn't have anything that I go, oh, this is interesting.
They got a. I mean, again, yeah, they don't. I mean, is House of Black still a thing? Because there's been rumors that Malachi is leaving.
It's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is the Kings of the Black Throne tag team.
Yeah.
It's Malachi and Brody King. I mean, they have the good look. They have that Wyatt Six vibe, or even before Wyatt Six came to be. And I think they need to go into that more.
So, I mean, I will say back when AEW started,
They are missing Julia Hart.
they are, but they also did have a really good faction. The one with, oh my God, what's his name now? The one who just passed away. They took care of his son Zero.
Oh, Brody King.
Brody, yeah,
Not Brody King, Brody Lee.
Brody Lee. So like that faction was there at the beginning. That was a very good, I thought, very dark, kind of almost Judgment Day-esque
Right.
kind of thing that the WWE kind of took away from and I think made better. But there's not really a good faction right now that's on TV. I mean,
No.
Taz used to have one. And that's the thing, to me, nothing sticks in my mind. Like watching a couple episodes here and there, I'm not a huge AEW fan.
It's like they're having like Chris Jericho's new faction, the Learning Tree. It's pretty much him doing an FU to the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like the fans keep saying you're too old, you're too fat, you're hogging TV time, so he's just going overboard with it.
Yeah.
To like piss them off more instead of generating new contact that makes them interested.
Yeah, but that's what he's always been good at too.
Now, Does AEW have any financial gain off of Jericho's cruise?
I don't think so.
Okay, because like
the wrestlers show up.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of like the highlights that I've seen. I wouldn't mind going on the cruise because there's a lot of events that happen on that cruise. Not only do you get the Fozzy show, you get
the rock bands
and stuff like that, but you get some actual good independent matches
right
that you're not going to see on TV. And I mean, that's awesome. And I'm really shocked that AEW is not kind of trying to float that bill just to kind of, well, but here's the other thing, not to bring this into a financial thing, but we always do. Is AEW going to kind of fizzle a little bit because the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Khan's dad, is making a new stadium? And it's supposed to be this, it's supposed to blow the top off the, wherever the Clippers are going to play at right now. That new stadium that they just built. Like, it's supposed to top that. So, I mean, you're talking a good...
Oh, when you said top off, I thought it was going to be like Tropicana Field.
No, yeah, we're not blowing the top off. But it is in Jacksonville, so it might. No, but that's just one thing that, again, he's still flipping the bill. I mean, Khan Sr. is flipping the bill for all this. So, like, are you going to see where it's like, okay, hey, our actual breadwinner, the Jacksonville Jaguars...
Are they the breadwinner, though? Like, they play a lot of games in London.
Yeah. I would think between them or AEW, who's making the money? I mean,
between both of them, I think they're both losing money.
Yeah. Well, they're not the Carolina Panthers, so they're at least making money. 4 tickets I could have bought for $12. Okay, just saying. I want to send my kid to a professional game. I might have to drive to North Carolina.
Road trip.
That is a road trip for sure.
All right. So the other match that they had was MJF over Roderick Strong.
He's making some diamond cut, like some real harsh.
It's the horrible cheap heat, easy cheap heat. So,
oh yeah,
Roderick Strong's dad, if you didn't know, was killed by his mom,
mm-hmm.
Or was it vice versa?
No, you said the right way.
Yeah, so his dad was actually shot by his mom, and so it's like, why are you bringing this up?
Oh, and MJF went right to it. Mike, camera centered. Which is like, I'm out here shooting movies, making millions, while your mom's shooting your. And I was like,
right,
what? And
that's turn off heat. It's not even like boo. Like that is just like,
yeah,
this is uncomfortable. I don't even want to watch.
But here's the other thing. That's not the first thing that AEW's done recently. That's like, okay, what am I watching here? Because like I told you before, that whole Bryan Danielson angle where they literally were putting him under the plastic bag.
Right.
And it's like, wait, there's no slit here. Like, this was not, like, this almost looked like a snuff film.
Right.
You know, no happy ending.
Poor guy.
Hey.
No, he gets to go home to Brie.
Is that really a prize?
Over Nikki.
That's a happy ending.
You rather take Brie over Nikki?
Oh, I take Brie over Nikki.
Hey, you're one of those, like, it's an inner person, huh? It's an inner child. It's what's inside.
Well, I feel Nikki's way too high maintenance.
For sure.
I don't want to deal with that.
Oh, fine.
And Bree's pretty like Nikki, so it's like,
hey, just because a Ferrari's got a dent in the door, don't mean you don't test drive it. You know what I'm saying?
Or you go the John Cena route and buy a Honda, put a Ferrari motor in it. Have you heard that story?
Yeah. He got sued by Ford too.
No, but he bought what car was it? And he was on this anyway. It took him 5 years to get the car completely made, and it has a Ferrari motor anyway. But it's a Toyota or a Honda that has a Ferrari motor on the inside. Looks like a Ferrari.
A sleeper.
Yes, for sure. Back to the podcast.
All right. Then let's see, the TBS champion Mercedes Moné over Chris Statlander, where it's like, again, you're putting the WWE talent over your pretty much homegrown talent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. White defeated.
But when you're trying to get ratings, when you're trying to get viewers, you got to go with what's hot.
I think Statlander would have been better.
It depends what kind of following, though.
And that's where I think that they're playing a lot of, like, they got to pay her off. 'Cause, I mean, she's been with them now for close to a year, I would have to say. I mean, they gave her a title. You know, they got to at least make her worth the $5 million that they're paying her.
Way overpaid.
Yeah, for sure.
No return on investment with that
No.
one.
And I was a Sasha Banks fan. I mean, I liked her in the WWE. I liked her in that women's division. I don't like her here.
No.
That my fanfare did not transfer over.
And for me, it was just her mentality of it all. Like when she left WWE, it was like it was a turn off.
Yeah, I mean, the way she left, I think, was a bad juju. But now I think foreshadowing what came, I think she did the right call. I mean, I think there was something with Vince McMahon there.
Well, obviously, she did. She made $5 million.
Well, yeah, that too. But I just mean, like, I think that was kind of that pulling that current back a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was upset with how they treated her and Naomi after winning women's tag team titles. And
Yep.
the one returned, the other one didn't. And that is that. So then you had Jay White defeated Heyman, Adam Page again, your homegrown talent, and
New Japan. Yeah.
And Adam Page, and then you had New Japan, your big signing, 2 years ago, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's another guy where it's like he does not look like a threat at all.
No. There's a lot of average Joes on AEW. Like, and it's just like, okay, I get it. But, like, again, you're missing that beast. You're missing that kind of...
Oh, so they should get Brock.
Hey, we'll talk about that in another segment, okay?
All right, and then they had Kyle Fletcher did defeat Osprey, the golden boy of AEW. And there, I don't know, did you see the highlight of, like, it was like a tombstone pile driver on the steel steps jumping off the apron doing it?
Really?
Yes, I did see that.
That was scary.
Wow.
And that's where you have to have, like, you have to have trust within the locker room. You have to have trust with the person you're doing the dance with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's a lot of things that I want to talk about with the Raw and stuff like that. But, like, at the end of the day, when you're doing moves like that, you got to have some trust with the person you're doing with. I mean, was that kind of like their rebuttal with the pile driver coming back in WWE? I definitely think it was something. I mean, that definitely got a lot of people talking about wrestling.
We talked about last time.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
They botched it anyway.
Well, and growing up, it was a sweet move.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, as we get older, we're like, oh boy, he's one little slip and a break of the neck. Yeah, that was the excitement about it.
Well, yeah.
The way how Andy Kaufman sold it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's like also like a chair shot. I mean, like when you back in the day when you took a chair shot, you heard the clink, you heard everything, you felt like you got hit with the chair.
Yep.
You know, now it's like, they're constantly putting their arm up like this. Like, okay. I still love that thing with The Rock and Ken Shamrock, where Shamrock came on and said it afterwards. He was just like, hey, I told The Rock, he's like, you swing that thing. He's like, I'm not selling unless you fully swing it. And he came out and swang it.
He did.
You sure? You sure?
Lost a few brain cells there, but hey.
Yeah, it was Shamrock.
All right. And then I think it was the only title change last night. It was for the TNT belt, Daniel Garcia over Jack Perry, the scapegoat. It's kind of like where Daniel Garcia was going to become a free agent, re-signed, and that's probably part of the deal to get the title, some title on him.
Yeah.
Right. They're both they're decent wrestlers. Are they marketable? Garcia really doesn't have personality or charisma. Good wrestler, technician in the ring, but Jack Perry with the scapegoat gimmick has been better than the whole when he did the Jungle Boy stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird gimmick. I mean, I know it fed well in like the independent scene, but like that was just a weird gimmick to me. The Jungle Boy
With
and
the Luchasaurus.
yeah, those two things would never have met.
And then we had, let's see.
You had Swerve versus Lashley.
Yeah, so Lashley defeated Swerve Strickland again, another WWE guy. Defeating
Recent signing though, so I mean,
but still, it's like here was your former champion.
Yeah.
You were building around, and then just took the belt off him for political reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like the storyline I would have done was Swerve joined Lashley, then turned on him.
I think that's an angle that they're still going to kind of go with, just because I mean you have MVP there, you have Lashley there, you have Shelton Benjamin there. I have a feeling that they're going to do something like that, but I think it's going to be kind of here coming soon. Personally, I do love the MVP's press conference afterwards.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, I forgot what the news outlet was, but it was just some wrestling, and like Tony Khan had to like explain to MVP who it was after him making him repeat him twice. Then like, oh, it's the wrestler of the risk, and MVP right was like, oh, we don't talk to that news outlet. Next person. Like, okay, played that role perfectly, and that's what I'm saying that's been missing in the WWE, and he was there,
Right.
but like that manager persona is missing.
And then we had Takeshita versus Ricochet,
Mm-hmm.
where Takeshita retained the international championship. I mean, good technical match.
Mhm.
I mean,
It was a safe match.
yeah. I mean,
Two high flyings. It was.
I mean, you pretty much had, I want to say, 3 really good matches last night.
Out of how many on the card?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So it's a good sized card.
Oh, 9. I'm sorry, 9.
9. So a third of them are.
And then you had Moxley defeating again homegrown talent, Orange Cassidy. And then Christian Cage came out at the end, was going to cash in his version of the Money in the Bank. And then Jay White came out and knocked him out to prevent him from cashing in on Moxley. So it's just like,
Yep.
eh.
And which goes back to, is there too many pay-per-views and there's not enough build up anymore?
It's all storyline. You got to build up, make it worth while, because then, yeah, it's like when they have the back-to-back, all in, all out, within a week, that's, to me, the dumbest pay-per-view strategy.
Money grab.
That's it.
That's all it is. It's a
Well,
giant
and I
money
think
grab.
that may be the turnoff for a lot of fans.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see, because in January, the AEW will be going on Max, where
Huh.
you can catch. The
When are
after
they
show
going on Max?
in January?
January. So when they go to the other one.
But I believe you still have to pay for pay-per-views. You
Right.
can buy it on Max, but
That's no good.
And that's the one thing with like the AEW pay-per-view schedule that bothers me is because there are so many that are so close together that there's not like a bundle package, like all in, all out. Like those are both $45 pay-per-views right there. That's
Right.
$90.
you already know All In's going to be better than All Out.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, we know Netflix isn't going to be doing the big matches, huh?
Hey, well, we'll see. And that's one thing that I'm very. It's not on our notes here, guys. So we're gonna quickly touch on it.
Maybe in the final slide.
Okay. I didn't get that first.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right.
But, all right. So, anything else about AEW?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, we gave them ample time.
We did.
Yeah,
More time than we did last couple shows combined.
that's right.
So,
It's good stuff.
gotta give them some love. All right. Monday Night Raw, the last couple of weeks. Whoops. Looking on this screen, it's a delay.
That's all right.
8-second delay on that one.
That's it.
I mean, as we said before, I mean, you can tell we're waiting until Netflix.
Yep.
You're also getting into that holiday season where now a lot more commercials, sales are being pitched, pushed, and all that stuff. So,
Pre-taped for talent to get break
Mhm.
Yep.
to be with their family.
which is now leaking out, which is again, social media is killing all of it
Right.
anyway. Like you kind of knew before the last pay-per-view what was going to kind of happen, or so the lead up. So it is now set. It is now 5-on-5. Oh, that was on SmackDown.
That was on
actually.
SmackDown.
Oh, my bad.
That's next. So you're
Oh.
jumping.
Jumping ahead. Well, sorry. It was 5-on-4 on Raw.
They were asking Seth to join.
You were asking Seth to join, and Seth kind of stood his ground. I don't like how there's no tension between the Usos, like at all.
Right.
I understand they kind of hugged it out, but it's like still like
You screwed me, dude. Like,
multiple times, both for
Yeah.
Intercontinental and
And the
World
World.
Champion. Again, and that's where like I see where Sammy's coming in at. I just
the Rush storyline.
there's so rush. It's the rush storyline that I just feel like it's not natural. Like I
Right.
mean, regardless of you being brothers or not, like I know family rivalries that have gone multiple Thanksgivings.
Right.
You're like, I don't want to sit by
I
you.
mean, how long was the Brett Owen rivalry?
There we go. What's
There
the-
it is. Say
25
24 minutes 52 seconds.
All right.
I mean, that was pretty much what 3 years. I want to say.
Yeah.
It was like 94 through almost 97, and then they made up in 97 and reformed the Hart Foundation.
Yeah. I mean, and look at the Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. You know, that one went on for years,
Right.
almost decades. You know, but I just feel like they're rushing it. And again, I can see multiple angles coming out of it. With War Games coming up, I could see, you know, multiple ways. But what else happened on Raw? You had Jay Cargill was that?
No, it's fact. I mean, you're off.
I am off today.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week for
Should
sure.
we just go to SmackDown?
No, you know what? Hang on. Let me recap.
You gotta
Really
recap
quick.
Raw.
Yep, hang on. Let me get up there. I got my notes.
So I still get thrown off with Raw being 2 hours because it's like, oh, now it's our main event. And that's like, that's the main event, and it's over at 9.
And it's over at
Like, even 9 on the dot. If they even go like a second over, they cut out. Like USA is pissed about losing Raw.
Oh yeah. You're not
Oh,
getting
I'm sure
any
they are.
extra time.
Oh, yeah. And if you notice, it's hilarious because if you do DVR it, 7 o'clock, Raw's not on at 7 o'clock. Raw's on at like 7:03, 7:04. Like they run that SVU.
Right.
That goes long. And then the next show's
Right
8,
there,
9 o'clock. It's like, all right, next show. Like,
Kaylee Kuko writing some guy.
hey. What's on Tom's mind today?
But it's kind of funny. It almost reminds. Do you remember like when Silk Stockings was on after
Yeah.
Raw?
After Raw.
It was just kind of funny where it's like they're promoting this family show, and then all of a sudden the next show I was like, nope, this is like
This is not
TVMA. And
Well, that was like back in the day when it was Raw is War, and then like you would have it where when I was younger, I never caught it until maybe 4 years watching wrestling, where you would see like Raw's little tagline pop up at the end, where it's like, okay, we're out of this show, now we're in Warzone, or we're in the next show. It's like I never caught that when I was little until like I went back and rewatched some episodes. So okay, getting back to Raw, you had Rhea Ripley come back. She's now the 5th member. So, or actually, sorry, she's the 4th member. The 5th member is still be determined.
No, the 5th member was Jay, but now
No, oh, see, now you're on SmackDown,
No,
sir.
but that's what I'm saying. Now we're not on SmackDown yet. Because when we go to SmackDown, it's no longer Jade.
Anyway, Jay looked like a goddamn freaking ladybug in that outfit.
Looks good though.
If you're into ladybugs,
Asian, they bite, man.
Asian beetles.
I want to know who is running wardrobe for the WWE right now, because like it has been for the last year and a half, 2 years, I would say. It's been like just grab something off the shelf and go out there. Like nothing makes any sense. You got Seth freaking Rollins coming out sometimes looking like the.
Yeah, his Liberace.
I think they give more freedom to wrestlers now to get their own stuff
Yeah, but it's like
without
I mean,
like getting it okayed.
well, like the producers always brought this up. I mean, you have
This producer,
this producer. You know, I don't know if he wants to be named or not, but you know, you have the American Nightmare coming out in a 3-piece suit,
I hate it.
but now he's not.
Yeah.
Now he's coming out in a track jacket, like the old '90s starters jacket, which I almost bought for Tom, but it was on back order, so I said F it. You know,
Nothing wrong with a good starter's jacket.
No.
Bulls pull over
I
quarters.
got that one.
hey,
No, I got the reversible.
You got the
I got the
reversal.
reversible.
I still have to say the best one though was the Charlotte. one.
Charlotte Hornets.
That was
Can't
just the
beat it.
best colorway out there.
Can't
Anyway.
beat it.
You like the Hornets? No, I just like
I just like the colors.
purple with turquoise.
Purple,
and
turquoise,
turquoise,
and
yeah.
white.
Yeah.
But I mean, again,
NBA Jam.
we're in that phase right now where you know Netflix is coming. You know they're gonna come with a bang at Netflix.
Yeah.
Survivor Series is right around the corner.
That's
There's
not
no
on our
build up.
sheet yet.
Well, I'm
Couple
hearing
funny
Legends is coming on after Raw too
What was that?
on Netflix. Legends.
Mm.
Coming back.
All right, so now we can go to.
Now we go SmackDown.
Okay, now we go to.
now we go to
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Did I pass SmackDown?
Why?
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh no, but there it is.
There it
There
is.
you go.
All right, so now we go to SmackDown. Now you can talk about Jade.
All right. So there was a segment where Jay was ambushed and thrown through a windshield, which kind of is hopefully it was fake glass. You know, with CM
Oh,
Punk
no.
being back, you know, we don't
The
know.
man that shall be nameless.
I love getting your rile out of you on that one. But she is now out of War Games, so now there's an open slot. So I'm gonna peg the question now. You know, who do you think it is, and who's also the head of the team?
Ooh.
To me, this whole War Games match is a sham. They should not even be doing it. There's no need for it.
We're talking about SmackDown here, sir, not War Games right
You
now.
said the match.
I said
who's
who-
going to be in it. So I'm just giving my opinion on that part.
That's not the question I asked you, sir. I said, who is the leader of this team? Because it clearly shows Rhea. When she came out there and she yelled War Games and headbutted again with a clear mask on. So many weapons are in this match already. We got masks. We got Belair's hair, which I still think needs to be cut.
No, that
Needs to be
beautiful,
cut.
It
beautiful.
does.
Then any match she needs to be in needs to be no holds bar. Needs to be no DQ.
So I can just grab that thing and
I would
roll.
either
But she could whip. She could use it as a whip, and
Right.
she's done it before, and it's okay.
Well, I think she got to use it as a submission hold.
Fine. But then I should be able to use a chair as a submission hold.
That's it.
No, it's not part of your body.
I will duct tape it to my arm.
Yeah.
It was like Lex Luger when he had the steel plate in the forearm. That was legal.
Mhm.
Part of the body, like, nothing you can do. Logan Paul's got what, the fist, or has he got the elbow too?
No. So again, Jay Cargill was now ruled out as an event. So now I personally, I'm kind of curious to see that storyline. I kind of brought it up in the last podcast of kind of the Rikishi running over, Stone Cold. They did it for The Rock. I kind of think I think this was Bianca.
You think it was Bianca?
I think that's what's going to come out of it.
I think it's going to be Return of the Queen.
And that's the other option I was going to say. I could just see it being Bianca because they're aiming for Bianca and Cargill to go at it. Like
At WrestleMania.
That's a WrestleMania match that
Which I think will be at the Royal Rumble.
But yeah, so you are down a member of that team now. So who is that fifth person going to be? You think it's going to be the Queen?
I think it's going to be the Queen, Charles.
Sting.
Again.
I could see it being the Queen. I could also see it being Becky Lynch.
Santino Marella. Santina Marella.
But we all know who it's really going to be. And I'll put a little gentleman's waiver on this one time for apology. Nope, it's going to be R-Truth. His music's going to hit, and he's going to come running out.
Or I could see it being Natalia just because it's in Canada.
Well, I could see that one too, but I have a feeling my gut's telling me it's going to be the Queen or it's going to
Stephanie
be the
McMahon
man's
coming
coming
back. Stephanie McMahon's coming back.
Wrong man.
Wrong. No Mick.
So, but again, SmackDown. Then you also had Solo come out opening the show saying that he wants Roman to surrender. They showed the promo there in the back, and they're all like, "What do we do?"
And to me, again, that's like, you didn't need to have 5-on-5.
No,
You could have just kept it 4-on-4.
but now who's the fourth person in the new bloodline that sits out? Who's the member?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it should have been just Solo, Jacob, and the Tonga. Both Tongas. It should have just been them four versus Sammy, Jimmy J, and Roman.
Yeah, so you're saying they shouldn't have
They should have added another.
Yeah.
They should have added Bronson Reed
to make it the 5.
for Solo to make it the 5. And they definitely should not have added the man that shall be nameless.
Whoa! So you're jumping ahead here.
Oh, now I'm jumping ahead.
At the end you had Roman come out.
5-on-5. You asked me what to do.
Hey. You had Paul Heyman come out, which
now you're going to bring out Paul Heyman.
Paulie's back.
Hey.
That was good.
That had a great pop.
Man,
It
what
did.
that tan on him?
Yeah.
Ooh, he does look good. He's been down on the islands a little
Was
bit.
he on the island or just in the tanning?
Or
bed
was he
too
with
long
Trump?
that day?
I thought he was with Trump. I mean, that was a nice full body that he had.
Yeah.
Now, the question that I want to bring up with Paul Heyman coming out is the choice of attire that Paul Heyman came out in is very Solo-esque. Suit, tie, dark red shirt underneath it.
blazer coat.
Is he with Roman or is he with Solo?
He is with himself.
Okay.
Because when we were talking about Friday after the whole thing came on. Now, to me, when they revealed their 5th member, or when Paul Heyman revealed the man that shall be nameless, I told Alex, like, that felt like the Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's like you all want Stone Cold to be that guy at WrestleMania to come out, hit the Rock with the stunner. And here it's like with Paul Heyman, it's like, you want Brock. There's the beast.
Yeah.
There's a guy that you actually feel like you have a chance to win.
Yeah.
But like Ken always says, you bring out this 48-year-old plumber looking guy. That just smoked 2 cigarettes.
And he's got a bad haircut right now.
But again, look at
just
who,
terrible.
All right, so let's take both teams. So
what's worse, his haircut or his wrestling?
Yeah.
So of course you start at the top. You're gonna have Roman. Who's Roman's? So let's say, you know, you have Batman has the Joker. So who's Roman's Joker? Well, that would be Solo, correct?
Yeah.
You would say?
For right now.
For right now. Okay. So then you have the Usos. They're on the Tongas. Okay.
Right.
Then you bring in Sammy. Sammy has no beef with Jacob.
Right. Or any of them, really.
Any of them, really.
So it's just like there's no reason. So again, but that's who it is. But then you have Bronson Reed and you bring out a plumber? Like that's where, again, like, they made
the big reach because Bronson attacked him before he went out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
And then you also have the big reach of CM Punk has fought.
Why are you saying his name?
Hey, it's on this
At
guy.
least say the Weenus.
Okay. The Weenus has fought Umaga, he's fought The Rock, and he's fought Roman. So, I mean, there is bloodline ties.
Right.
But that's still a reach.
But the only tie was with Heyman.
Yeah.
And so his fight would be with Bronson.
Mm-hmm. But Bronson did nothing to Heyman. So then, no, then he would go, in my mind, he fights Jacob.
Well, Bronson did stuff to Pump. Or, now you make me say it. Pepsi Boy.
Yeah, but again, I love the pop of Paul Heyman, but I would have kept it him not bringing out a 5th member.
I would have waited a week.
I would have been like, hey, I have the 5th member. I'm waiting for the callback. And you left it at that, or leave it to where Heyman gets jumped, Heyman gets attacked, you know, or like I said to you on that Friday, the camera pans to Heyman, and then in the ring, the Bloodline 2.0 attacks the OGs.
Well, it's Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, you literally have 6 days. To your point, you could have just held on.
Yeah.
It's like the glass breaking at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just
It was not a good.
It was a quick rush reach.
Yeah, I think so.
Like just Heyman returning on his own would have been enough.
I mean, the crowd.
And then they could have done something on Monday of like, okay, what are we going to do? Who are we going to get?
Had not have Heyman in the
And
segment.
have him make a phone call and says he'll be here Friday.
Or not even that. Or he'll be here Saturday. He'll be here.
He'll be here Thursday.
And I even told Tom this on Friday when I was talking to him. I would have been okay with the Weenus returning in Survivor Series as that music drops. It's not the music that I would want to appear.
Right.
But now you kind of have a mystery member on both female and male. And it would have been okay.
Yeah, a little
but instead,
because I mean that goes back to the Undertaker days when he was the mystery guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was the 4th man on the $1 million team.
A little suspense.
A little suspense goes a long way.
And now they just whatever. Let's get our quick buck. So since we're already talking about Survivor Series War Games, that match, whatever. I mean, I'm going to watch it, of course, but to me, I really don't care what happens. It's probably going to set up a Roman versus Pepsi Boy feud down the line. Is what's going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the end of the OG bloodline.
Yeah, I don't see any. Like I said, the only storyline that I see coming out of this would be if they bring back Charlotte, if they bring back Becky. I don't really see anything coming on the men's side. I mean, you have Cody. Has that been announced?
Cody versus KO.
Is going to be
out
it
now.
But is that going to be at SummerSlam or not?
No,
SummerSlam?
it's
Survivor Series. Okay.
And then Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. Sheamus has not yet won the IC title for his Grand Slam, so they're going to tease it again.
Why? Why does he deserve it? Why
is this even a match?
Exactly.
Right.
This is the second now pay-per-view.
He's Triple H's boy, workout buddy.
Okay, but this is the second pay-per-view with Crown Jewel that has a match on there that I don't think needs to be there.
Right.
Randy Orton versus KO is the one I'm referencing prior.
Right.
They didn't even become a match.
Right.
He got attacked. Like, I don't get the card. I don't
They
get
have nothing.
Yeah.
And they should have just done 4-on-4 when you have nothing.
Yeah.
Just at least 1 or 2 matches 4-on-4.
Or if you didn't have nothing, just do Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
Boom.
Or do WWE versus TNA. You have the foreign door open there. Why not just do promotion versus promotion? I mean, like, you didn't have.
It makes sense.
And
Correct.
there's a revenue split that you probably don't
Right.
want to do at that point.
Okay, fine, but
And you probably don't want any of their guys pinning your guy.
That's right. Going
On your
off script.
turf.
Going off script.
Unless it's Joe Hendry who you're going to sign next year.
say his name and he'll appear. Is that what you're trying to get out of this one, really?
No,
Oh.
that's not.
No? Oh, okay.
All right, you ready, Ken?
Let's see what we've got here.
You got all tuned up.
We're going to be close.
Oh, cutting it close. I like when we play it close.
It's time to play the game.
What happened?
Time to play the game.
Keep the belt. I just want to. That's true.
It's all about the game, and how you play it. It's all about control, and if you can take it, it's all about your stand, if you can play it.
All right. It is time to play the game here on Let Me Tell You Something, Brother. Of course, with the Survivor Series, we want to know what is the best matches of all time for Survivor Series. What is the top 3 matches of all time?
All time.
Of all time. What do you got?
So just Survivor Series pay-per-view matches or the actual Survivor Series?
For the
Any match.
any match can
Oh,
be it
so-
can be the WWE versus NXT, whatever. But
I really enjoyed. I think it was 90 because it was Undertaker's debut where they
Ooh.
did. The winners went on to fight at the end.
yeah,
That was probably my favorite
that was
concept.
that was a long time ago.
But I mean, the matches weren't that great. I mean, you had the super team of Ultimate Warrior, Legion of Doom, and Texas Tornado that should have just swept that round. But Warrior was the only one that advanced, and somehow Tito Santana won those round of matches.
Right.
So it's pretty much Warrior, Hogan, and Tito against 8 guys. I think it was.
Yeah, that was good though.
So I think it was
I
like a $1
remember
million team. Like 3 of his guys won because the Undertaker was eliminated.
Yeah.
A young Undertaker.
The debut. That for me was probably my favorite concept.
Yeah,
Not the question, sir.
I know, but I mean, it was matches
right.
because you had that final.
You had to
match
survive,
at the end.
baby. That's why it's called Survivor Series. Had
Right.
to survive.
And I wish they would bring that.
Oh,
element
that was
back. I think that was the only
I
time they
forgot
ever-
about that format actually. It was a good-
I think that was the only time they did it.
yeah.
But it's like I don't know. I just miss it. Like when it was on was it Thanksgiving Eve that Wednesday, and you had a pre-Thanksgiving meal or whatever.
And you
you're
talk
just
about it all
watching
day Thursday.
And you just, I mean, and then they were all goofballs.
Yeah.
But then other matches. I mean, Brett fought Sean twice.
There it is.
time.
There it is. 42,
Yeah, well,
40,
he's trying to set
43,
that
40,
up.
43, 43. So yeah, so you're saying back in 92 when he and Shawn Michaels went at it.
I think that was the first one.
Yeah,
where
that
they
was
did
their
the
first one.
4-on-4, and that the championship match was actually defended.
That was one of mine because that was a good match.
Because that's where Sean jumped off the turnbuckle, Brett caught with the sharpshooter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a real good one. That was one of mine.
So we got to do top 3?
I did. Top three.
I get. I do 1.
All right, bro. So what do you got over there?
See, I mean, it's hard for me because even growing up, Survivor Series wasn't really a big.
It's probably the
Paper-
worst of the 4.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't the pay per view that I was like, all right, this is gonna be.
But it was always Thanksgiving Eve, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that was the families together. I mean, it was fun.
I mean, it was just their one different pay per view for the
Yeah.
You know, it was definitely one of those though. I was thinking of putting a couple of my uncles through a couple of the tables, but I'm actually going through right now, looking at all of them, and there's
a
now
lot of them are bad.
yeah.
I mean, I think the Big Four Survivor Series is the worst of the Big Four.
But the
And
thing
a
was,
lot
like,
of bad matches.
but looking at a lot of them here, like they weren't main card people. I mean, like in the 90s, it was mid card people. Like you had one, I'm looking at right here, D'Lo Brown, the Godfather, the Headbangers, versus the Acolytes, but the Dudleys. Like what? Like these are just like, I don't want to say they're not.
Dudley's made the cut, man.
They did make the
They
cut.
did make the cut.
I'm not saying anything against the
Bojangles.
Dudleys. I'm just saying like they weren't like the matches that they're trying to push now. Like the matches that they're not trying to push now are their bases of the company.
Yeah.
You know,
Because what I would say would probably be Brett and Austin.
You know what?
96.
96. God, that was my
I didn't
favorite.
look at my phone. I'm telling you, I didn't even tell you the year.
That was my favorite.
oh, dude, you're good.
That was my favorite, bro.
I
That
would
was,
have to say probably the 2000s.
that was a skinny Steve Austin
That
too.
was when he was starting the whole Stone
Yeah.
Cold.
Yep.
So the one I'm looking at right here is
'Cause he was calling out Brett.
Yeah.
and I think that was his first return since losing the belt to Shawn.
Yeah.
when you had
WrestleMania.
the what were they? I can't think of their name, their faction's name, but when you had Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko,
Radicals.
the Radicals
Radicals.
versus DX, and then in that same year you had the Dudley. You had pretty much the Dudleys, the Hardys, and the defeated Christian and the guy, a couple of the Godfathers, the Righteous Sons here. I mean, that was probably the best pay per view for me in that era versus,
I think the other one I liked was when Dolph Ziggler was the sole survivor and
Oh.
Sting came out
yeah.
against the Authority.
Well, they did that also with. Didn't they do that with Daniel Bryan too? When he was like the last,
I think so.
like he had to do it to get the title shot.
There was another one where like Shawn Michaels had to win to save Stone Cold's job, but
Yeah.
no, those will probably be my three off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. And I hate it because it's Brett, but those were good matches.
Right.
Those were good matches.
The worst would be the Gobbledygooker.
The gobbledygooker.
That was the worst letdown
Was that
in
the-
my childhood.
Was that the egg?
That was the egg.
Yeah.
The egg.
I was
What's
trying
in
to
the
remember.
egg?
But he
The
built,
same Survivor Series that had the unique format.
but they built that egg up. Like you were curious.
What's in there? What's in
what
there?
was in the egg?
So now I don't know if it's Walmart or one of those companies with the toys is selling the Undertaker Gobbledygooker set.
Really? Is that what you want for Christmas?
No,
No, you sure?
they want way too much money for that.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
There you go.
That'd be something where I'd buy it off the Facebook marketplace that someone's trying to get rid of, and
Yeah.
just throw it on the table.
Throw it on the table.
Throw it on the
Yeah.
table with all the other.
Well, I think it's funny right now. The big toy that they're pushing on all the commercials is the lowrider, and it's
No. My third one, I went with the in 2001. I went with Team WWE versus Team Alliance. That was a good Survivor Series.
That's one where they should have made it longer.
They should have. They should have. What was it? 53 minutes or something. It wasn't that long.
All right.
Yeah, it's the game.
Worst one or
That was the game
no
oh,
worst one?
I can't. I mean, again, like I said, none of them stick in my mind.
this year.
This year, last year,
Years
well,
Last
I mean,
year, right?
last year was entertaining. I mean, but nothing.
All right. So what was it last week? 2 weeks ago, Triple H was at a concert
Yeah,
for
Trip-
Travis Scott.
Triple H had a very busy last weekend. So he was at UFC 309. They showed him and Stephanie next to Donald Trump, president-elect, and then
Where he has nominated Stephanie's mom.
correct, which was very convenient.
Yeah, she worked for him before.
She worked
She
for
did, yeah.
him for a while.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys that later. Anyway, And then
handshake deal with
he then
the separated partner.
flew. I forgot where UFC 309 was at, but then flew to California, I believe, for the Travis Scott concert, where he kind of went on stage. It was like no announcement he was going to be there, just like in the middle of Travis his set, just like performance, like Triple H's music just hit, and Triple H just walked out. Like,
Wow.
I mean, he definitely has a presence in the hip hop industry.
He does.
But it was just like he walked out with a belt in hand in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the stage, does his little water, spit. And then and the best part is in this image, they kind of show it. Travis Scott is on these like rocks, and he's like at least 6 to 8 feet up in the air. And like Triple H is like underneath him, like talking to him. And almost proposes to him. Like when he shows it to him, like the time is on the picture up, but like he presented to him like on one knee, like this. And it was just very funny and
weird.
Travis Scott does ask when can he fight for this? And then again, it's a January 6th, which is
what's the name of it?
What's the name of what?
The belt.
Here's the thing. So if you're a fan, you can tell what the belt is. All you see is Co. You don't see hardcore yet. You just see Co. I don't like it.
So you're telling me Triple H recycled another old idea?
You really? It's like he listens to this podcast, man. We're trying to get sponsorships here,
right? Right.
He's the one who's preventing it.
But yeah, I mean he recycled another idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, like it fits what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Raw's gonna have a new belt, and it's gonna be the hardcore title. But my question is, do they bring back
ECW or
do they bring it back for ECW? Or remember when the hardcore title went away, it was defended 24/7.
Right.
Which they had a 24/7 belt. Do they kind of merge the two with like this coming back as it's going to be defended 24/7, or is that kind of gimmick gone?
So what I could see happening is with Netflix going to be 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think they finally did confirm it's going to be a 3-hour show. The TV rating is going to be 14.
Okay.
So they are upping. They're going from PG to
It'll show a little blood.
Netflix. So, I mean, they've already been hinting at more of the aggressive style, and we're getting some of back of that Attitude Era with the skimpy clothes and sexual innuendos.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think probably the final hour of Netflix is going to be your Warzone.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna ask a question. I know we're not in this game right now, but who on the current roster on Raw, which we don't know who's going to be on Raw, we know that it's going to be, huh? There's going to be some sort of, yeah, you can name 3 people, but who on the roster of WWE, both with NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, who's going to fight for it? Who, again, back in the day, you knew Hardcore Holly, you knew Mankind, you knew there was the Hardys, Al Snow, the Dudleys, like Edge and Christian. Someone could hold their own for a hardcore match. Who do you have now? Because it's been too soft.
Would it be KO?
He's the only person, him and Bronson Reed, the only 2 that I could see that destroy things. Unless you're going to give it to either Braun Breaker or Strowman. Those are the 4 people that destroy an arena. But are 4 people enough to hold that
Go back to that
title, that, whatever you want to say, that kind of vertical?
the broken red world champion belt.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the Wing Eagle.
No.
Piece of crap. Which Brett had another interview this week about. They're asking about the belt design. I think it's a piece of crap. Who wants to win that?
Well, and again, not to go back about the show heels, but they kind of touch on that whole thing about like all this is the toy.
Right.
All this is for the little Johnnies and Sallys of the world to get a new toy on Christmas.
Right.
And it's perfect timing. You're going to now push this out into the marketplace. And oh, by the way, we have a 30% off sale on WWE store right now. Like, it was really like right after they talked about this, that next commercial was, hey, the whole site's 30% off. Like, come on. Sorry, Tom, they're so expensive.
It's way too much. Yeah, I was trying to think what else there was. I mean, yeah, other hardcore people, they're all in AEW.
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody. Now, they did announce for WWE there is a new, I don't even want to say how you can say this, but there's a new WWE ID,
Okay.
which
They're
is their
the new development.
new developmental, but they're
'Cause
allowed to
it's-
do
it's-
other.
Cody's, Booker T, the Shawn Michaels is like their wrestling training facilities are going to be part of the developmental.
Yeah.
What was the other one? All right, there's one more.
Well, Cody's is also his. This is also his brother's as well, who's running it right now. It's not. Yeah. There's a fourth one. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But again, they're also though allowed to go in the independent scene.
Right.
Okay, well, but you're gonna limit them somewhere because they can't go to an AEW show. They're not. I mean, they'll be able to go to. They can't go to Ring of Honor. That's AEW. Right. So it's like you mean like the independent.
The VFW.
You mean the VFW? Okay.
All right. So now we have a new segment in the show. If you'd like to sponsor, please feel free to reach out to Kent. You want to say your email contact info?
That's right. Info at 216thenet.com.
So our new segment now
I don't even know the
is
rules for this segment.
Tom's Productions Rejected Rundown.
Rejected Rundown.
We just talk about like you rejected designs people sent you.
We could talk about whatever what you would like to reject. It is venting time.
Oh, it's venting time.
It's venting time.
Wow.
Like
Therapy. Therapy with Tom.
Therapy with Tom. I cannot stand this War Games format.
Oh,
I've said it numerous times on the show. I am annoyed with it. The match doesn't start till the last guy's in the ring. The match will start when you have the first two guys in the ring. If you pin him, he's out. Just make it a true survivor.
But have they announced the format yet?
It's pretty much.
Is it going to be the same? We're just assuming.
I'm assuming it's the same because again, Triple H has no freaking originality.
Hey, say what you want, man.
I am saying what this is the rejected rundown that I'm rejecting.
We know he listens to the podcast because I brought up the hardcore title.
There's our one viewer right there.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Paul, nice to meet you. I don't speak for him all the time. I will gladly take some tickets. No, but
I won't. You have to pay me to show up.
See, so pretty much what Tony Khan's doing.
Pretty much.
That's
right. I like that idea.
I like that idea. See, you scared him away.
Womp,
Did your phone turn off?
I don't even understand. My phone's on. I don't know why it's not.
But no, I don't know.
That's not even watching
this. The whole War Games. Like I said, it needed to be something different. You're just going to do two cages again and recycle what you did last year. It's not going to be a good game. Not going to be a good event. To me, it should have been done. I mean, if it's a bloodline match and bloodline to the Polynesians and that's the route you went, like go back to the island, like do something different.
Here's what I'm rejecting is everybody's entrance. My God, everybody, it was cool when a couple people had some fireworks or whatever, but now they've got the entrance is more glamorous and takes longer than the matches now.
Yeah,
which I absolutely hate. Just run down the ramp, go beat somebody up, and let's go.
Do what AEW did on Wednesday, where you had Cheeseburger already in the ring.
That's it.
As the wrestler's name was Cheeseburger.
Yeah. Go back to those days, right? That's it.
And that's why I think if I was AEW or even WWE, I'd treat SmackDown as your old style wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd treat Collision as your old style wrestling. Bring back the gimmick characters. You already got it with the Outlaw Runners, whatever. Yeah. Bring back those kind of gimmicks, the old whatever. Different style, different pace.
But for the love of God, everybody doesn't have to have a 10-minute intro with fireworks and 3D effects and just come out, wrestle, go back into the locker room.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely getting kind of crazy.
Oh.
I mean, it's definitely kind of a giant just advertisement right now.
Well, it has cut down with 2-hour Raw.
A little bit.
When it's 3 hours, they're trying to stretch time. They could. But now at 2 hours, it's like, okay, we're limited that time. We need to bump up the pace.
My big thing that I want to reject right now is like when you have somebody interfere, like why does their music hit?
Right.
You know it's coming.
Yep.
And then also at the same time when they're interfering, why they got to run down the ramp? Like come through the freaking crowd.
Right.
Like bring it back to what people
The
want to
surprise.
see. The surprise, exactly.
Have somebody roll out from underneath the mat.
But my big thing right now is, I mean, I've said this before, like there's one or two factions that are out there and it's like they're not even comparable. Like you have the Judgment Day, you have LWO, you have a few more out there, but it's like none of them, like again, like I said with this War Games, you don't have a straight battle to battle person. Like the Weenus is gonna go after this person, they're comparable.
Yep.
You don't have that. And that's kind of where I think the WWE is lacking right now. Is you don't have a heavyweight. You don't have someone that's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm worried to go up against him.
Right.
So I reject the whole format.
I already rejected the format.
No, I'm saying of WWE.
No.
I'm saying
WWE, everything.
Welcome back, but I reject everything. You know what?
Well, the other thing that got rejected is 10 years WWE Network. No more after January 1st.
That's right.
$9.99.
You couldn't even log in anymore.
Well, I know, but it's even though like overseas or whatever, they're all moving to Netflix, and the $9.99 a month is officially going to be gone after 10 years.
So let's see if Netflix can figure out all the people tuning in.
Let's talk about that. I mean, so the Jake Paul fight. So now there's the rumors that Mike Tyson they want to do a WWE fight, and Tom and I spoke about this a little bit in our pre-phone call on Friday. So it would be clearly would be Paul versus Tyson.
Yeah. Logan.
But okay, the WWE Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul versus Tyson. I could see it. I would stay tuned to it. But now I would stay tuned because of the entertainment and the theatrics around the ring. Because clearly Mike Tyson's going to come in, would just be a cash grab. It's not going to be a true fight, so people are going to interfere. What I presented at the time was almost in WrestleMania when they had Triple H versus Sting, and they had the NWO come out, and then you had DX come out. Okay? That was a big pop. Everyone loved it. So my idea with that would be Jake Paul versus Tyson. Logan Paul versus Tyson, where you have Jake in the corner. Maybe the night before, Tyson actually gets a hit on Jake and actually knocks him out, which everyone wanted to see on Netflix. Did not happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
But
it'll happen on WWE.
It'll happen
on
WWE.
WWE.
Triple H
Tyson ain't getting in the ring.
I think he will.
No.
I think they're going to do. Well, see what I told Alex is I thought they may do a tag match because then Tyson could just stand there,
come in and do a couple of punches,
do one punch, and go back in the corner.
Yeah. No.
Now, who would the partner be?
Tyson ain't getting in the ring.
I see it being the Logan brothers versus Tyson and
Paul brothers.
Paul brothers. Thank you, Paul brothers versus Tyson and John Cena.
No.
Why?
I don't think Tyson's getting back into the ring. Okay. He made his $20 million.
See, I would say,
but I'd say special guest referee Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels finally gets
I'm rejecting that idea.
I say Tyson, knocks out Jake. You get your money that you want, knocks out both brothers, and Shawn does sweet chin music on Tyson.
No.
Payback from WrestleMania.
Oh, Kent's done with that. He's done with the segment.
You don't want
it.
No, that ain't going. Tyson ain't getting back in the ring. I'll tell you that. Not at WWE.
I put $10 million on it. I put $10 million on it. He'll get back in there. I'm sure Paul will be calling him in a little bit.
He ain't gonna do it.
All right. Oh, I think that's it for our show. Well, what, 2 weeks from now is
a couple weeks.
8th? Yep. 8th is our next show.
So we'll recap
8th at 8. So recap War Games and probably preview
more purgatory before Netflix.
Yeah, I mean the month of December is going to be.
We'll be probably talking about toys and T-shirts.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go. Now T-shirts either coming out with the T-shirts you're making. I think that's both. Okay.
All the old ones too.
Okay.
The throwbacks. All right, everybody.
New ones, absolutely.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Gobble gobble.